British didn't break the Marathas alone. Nature struck first. What followed reshaped Pune forever. How did nature itself push the Marathas towards collapse? How did the British redesign Pune to display dominance, control and order? And how did this new Pune turn into a breeding ground for rebels, thinkers and revolutions? After the Second Anglo-Maratha War, the mighty Pune Peshwa had unfortunately become a British puppet. The great Sardars had lost a lot of land, and in the few areas remaining, even the taxes weren't his to collect. The East India Company was way ahead, making secret deals with Sardars and siphoning off the revenue into their coffers. A prime example of this was the Baroda Confederacy, where the English controlled revenues by local alliances. Humiliation after humiliation was breaking Bajirao II. And then 1817 happened. The year everything snapped.
The Peshwa had some sums that has to be recovered from the Baroda state. So in order to recover these sums, the diplomat was sent from the Baroda state to the Peshwa. The name of that diplomat was Gangadhar Shastri Patwardhan.
But soon Shastri was murdered. The company pounced, pinning the crime on Trimbak Dengre, Bajirao's own prime minister, and forced the Peshwa to sign a brutal treaty that stripped him of all Deccan lands. From Tungabhadra to Narmada, gone. Bajirao's power was erased, and he was furious. The Peshwa was setting the stage for one final gamble. And the day came, 5th of November, 1817. From across the river, Sardar Vinsurkar's cannons roared, fire tearing into British resident Elphinstone's house. A detachment of Maratha cavalry stormed in, torching every English bungalow in sight. Elphinstone barely escaped, running for Khadki, panicking at his heels. The British regrouped fast. Colonel Burr advanced with Ford's men. Bapu Gokhale, the chief Senapati of Peshwa's forces, rode hard, taunting, rallying, and then unleashed the monster move. 6,000 cavalrymen charging like thunder towards the British line. For a heartbeat, it felt unstoppable. But Burr held his men back, waited, and then nature struck. A swampy patch dragged the horses down, snapping the Maratha momentum. And that's when the muskets lit up the night. Gunfire shredded the charge. Within minutes, the Maratha cavalry, the pride of their power, was broken. By dawn, it was over. British losses 68, Maratha losses nearly 500. Around this area on Range Hill roads near SIMS would have been that swampy patch of land which broke the charge of the Maratha cavalry, and with that broke the spine of the Indian resistance against the British colonizers. And Pune, yet again under new rulers, was getting ready to rewrite its soul. Under the British rule, Pune began to shuffle and reshuffle itself. Brahmin families packed up and moved west to Narayan and Sadashivpet, giving those areas the orthodox traditional image we still see today. Meanwhile, the east side of Pune lit up with new energy.
After the British conquered Pune in 1818, they planned a cantonment to the east of the city. This was located between two rivers, the Manikoda and Bhairobacha Nala. This area was very cosmopolitan in nature. It had diverse communities like the Parsis, Iranis and Bohris inhabiting it. While the eastern part of the cantonment was largely residential, the western part was planned as its commercial hub. It was called Sadar Bazaar. We are at Dastur Meher Road, the Parsi quarter of Sadar Bazaar. The Parsi restaurants and agyaris here only add to its old world charm. While there were Parsis here under the Peshwa rule, their population only significantly increased in the British period.
The famous Vadas of Pune, Shanivar Vada and Shukravar Vada, mysteriously burned down. Colonial orders were slowly taking control of Pune. And in the cracks of this new order, sparks of rebellion began to fly. Big eyes, rugged face, storm in his chest. Vasudev Phadke, the man who dreamt of Swaraj in the 1870s. Watching India starve under the Raj, he snapped. By 1875, he had built a guerrilla army of 300 Ramoshis, hunters, fighters, and outsiders. Not soldiers of a state, soldiers of rage. He organized night raids on treasuries, ambushes in Sahyadris, leaving the British officers scrambling. To him, every strike was dharma, every raid an act of Swaraj.
Behind me is the Narsimha temple in Sadashivpet. It is said that Phadke lived somewhere here, and in the premises inside a well is where he hid his weapons. And Phadke's story only gets interesting. In 1879, the British captured Phadke and shipped him off to a prison in Aden. It is said that Phadke there literally ripped the door off its hinges and escaped. But fate pulled him back. Recaptured, he went on a hunger strike and died in 1883. Even the Britishers admitted this wasn't banditry, this was revolution. If it was a revolution, the British had to crush it. But was just physically crushing it enough? Not quite. So the British became creative.
Pune's oldest vegetable market, Mandai. This was one of the two vegetable markets built by the British in the city of Pune. Markets like these were seen as expressions of colonial power in the 19th and 20th centuries. Built using both local Indian and colonial European materials and design elements, this style eventually came to be known as Indo-Saracenic architecture. We find a number of different architectural styles in Mandai. If you look at the pair of arches at the back, they are neo-Gothic styled pointed arches. If you look at the upper portions of all the pillars, you will see that they are inspired from Greco-Roman pillars. And the brackets are the most interesting part. They have retained the form of Peshwa era load-bearing brackets that used to decorate the facades of Vadas, but have changed the material to cast iron from the traditional wooden one. In the colonial period, Pune saw a number of European-styled mansions coming up, meant to evoke memories of the British officers' homes in Europe. They had expansive gardens, large retinues of servants, and even ornamental fireplaces, which were not really needed in India's tropical climate. With time, wealthy Anglicized Indians started building houses that imitated these ones. This mansion, called Garden Reach, is located in Shivaji Nagar. Unfortunately, it is not accessible today. This mansion was originally set in the middle of a vast garden that has been commercialized today. The structure that you see behind me is a tower that was meant to power the water bodies of this garden. This is Sangam Bridge, one of the earliest bridges built by the British in Pune. Originally made as a wooden bridge around 1818, it was subsequently remade twice in stone, once in 1840 and a second time in 1876. It was named Wellesley Bridge after Arthur Wellesley, the Duke of Wellington. He was instrumental in strengthening the hold of the British over the Deccan. The British went on to build several other bridges in the city of Pune to connect the old city to the cantonments of Camp and Khadki. Today, these bridges are symbols of Pune's colonial past and cultural fusion. Let's take a look at another fascinating example. Right next to me is the old Bund Garden Bridge. In 1850, a bund was built here by Jamshedji Jijibhai to check the overflooding of the Mola Mutha river. A few years later, in 1867, Captain Ceylon built a bridge here that you can see next to me. It was called Fitzgerald Bridge, named after the then governor of Bombay. The bridge is famous for the Medici lion sculptures that flank its entrance. These have been reproduced from the original Italian ones all around the world in similar fashion. The bridge came to be known as Sihacha Pool in the local language because of these sculptures.
The city of Pune had undergone a complete transformation now, but did you know that Pune was this close to becoming the capital of the country under the British Raj?
By the mid 1800s, the British were the boss, their rulers, viceroys, their problems, Indian summers. So John Lawrence, the third viceroy, says,
I'll do the job, but summers? Shimla only.
in 1864, Shimla became the official summer capital. Whole government files, clerks, pens, inkpots trekked up a mountain twice a year, costing around 4 lakh rupees annually, which is like burning crores today. But after the 1857 revolt, they wanted a new, safe, all-weather capital. Jabalpur, Allahabad, Agra, Bombay were shortlisted for this alongside, yes, Pune. In fact, Lord Lawrence literally pitched Pune in a letter.
Pune is a salubrious position, practically on the seacoast, only 80 miles from Bombay, connected by railway.
Which means great weather, proximity to Bombay, so travel is sorted. But Pune got ghosted. They didn't think Pune was centrally located and could be cut off during war. So Delhi stole the crown in 1911, and in 1931, Delhi became the official capital. Even if Pune wasn't chosen as the capital, Pune was carving its unique identity in colonial India. It is in this era that Pune became the country's brain capital.
दक्षिणापण ही पेशव्यांच्या काळापासून चालत आलेली एक सिस्टीम जी एल्फिन्स्टनने तशीच पुढे चालू ठेवली. तर श्रावण मासामध्ये ब्राह्मणांना दान देण्याचा एक प्रोग्राम हा शनिवारवाड्यामध्ये आणि पुण्यामध्ये भरला जात असे. एल्फिन्स्टनने जेव्हा पुणे ताब्यात घेतलं त्यावेळी ही दक्षिणा जी प्रथा आहे ती तशीच चालू ठेवण्याचं कारण होतं की त्याला पेशव्यांच्या या पुण्यातील ब्राह्मणांचा रोष ओढावून घ्यायचा नव्हता. त्याने त्याचा एक फंड तयार केला आणि त्या फंडद्वारे त्याने एक संस्कृत कॉलेज पुण्यामध्ये सुरुवात केली आणि ह्याच पाठशाळेचं रूपांतर पुना कॉलेजमध्ये झालं. त्यामुळे पुण्यातली जी पहिली पिढी आहे ती ह्या पुना कॉलेजमध्ये शिकली आणि नंतर ह्याच पुना कॉलेजचं रूपांतर डेक्कन कॉलेजमध्ये करण्यात आलं. डेक्कन कॉलेजने काय केलं? डेक्कन कॉलेजने पुण्यामधली एक महत्त्वाची पिढी घडवली. लोकमान्य टिळक, गोपाळ गणेश आगरकर, विका राजवाडे यांसारखी आद्य मंडळी या डेक्कन कॉलेजने घडवली. लोकमान्य टिळक पुढे केसरीमधून, मराठामधून आणि आगरकर देखील इंग्रज सरकार विरोधात लिहू लागले. राष्ट्रीय चळवळ निर्माण कशी करता येईल याचा सातत्याने विचार करू लागले आणि त्यावेळी त्यांना सुचलं की शिक्षण संस्थेमधूनच आपण राष्ट्रीय शिक्षण देऊ शकतो आणि त्याच्यातूनच त्यांनी डेक्कन एज्युकेशन सोसायटीची स्थापना पुण्यामध्ये केली आणि या डेक्कन एज्युकेशन सोसायटीची पहिली शाळा अर्थात न्यू इंग्लिश स्कूलची त्यांनी सुरुवात केली. कॉलेज उभारण्यासाठी टिळकांनी मोठे प्रयत्न केले आणि त्यासाठी फर्ग्युसन सारख्या अधिकाऱ्यांनी त्यांना फंड दिला आणि म्हणूनच फर्ग्युसन कॉलेज त्याच्यातून उभं राहिलं. या फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजने पुण्याच्या इतिहासामध्ये आणि पुण्याच्या वैभवामध्ये मोठी भर घातलेली आहे. पण हे शिक्षण उच्च अभिजन वर्गच फक्त घेऊ शकत होते. मग सामान्य जनांचं काय, बहुजनांचं काय, शूद्रातिशूद्र लोकांचं काय याचा विचार महात्मा फुलेंनी केला. त्यांनी स्कॉटिश मिशनरी शाळेमध्ये आपलं शिक्षण, इंग्रजी शिक्षण पूर्ण केलं आणि त्याच्यातूनच त्यांना सामान्य लोकांना शिक्षण दिलं पाहिजे आणि त्यातही महिलांना शिक्षण दिलं पाहिजे हा विचार त्यांनी सर्वात प्रथम त्यांच्या कृतीमध्ये उतरवला आणि त्याच्यातूनच पुण्यात पहिली मुलींची शाळा उभी राहिली. महात्मा फुलेंना त्यासाठी सुरुवातीला शिक्षक मिळत नव्हते, ज्यांना पंतोजी म्हटलं जात होतं, म्हणून त्यासाठी स्वतः फुलेच पंतोजी म्हणून काम करू लागले. त्यांनी स्वतःच्या पत्नीला अर्थात सावित्रीबाई फुलेंना शिक्षिका म्हणून नेमलं आणि त्याच पुण्यातल्या पहिल्या आद्य शिक्षिका ठरल्या, भारतातल्या पहिल्या आद्य शिक्षिका ठरल्या. धोंडो केशव कर्वे यांनी स्त्रियांसाठी स्वतंत्र पहिलं महिला विद्यापीठ हे भारतामध्ये सुरू केलं, ते म्हणजे पुण्यामध्ये. ते देखील पुण्याचं एक भूषण आहे. धोंडो केशव कर्वे यांना त्या कार्यासाठी भारत रत्न पुरस्कार दिला गेला. ही पुण्यासाठी एक अभिमानाची गोष्ट आहे. इतके सारे वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारची शिक्षण व्यवस्था या पुण्यामध्ये सुरुवात झाली, पण ह्याचा सगळ्यात मोठा मुकुटमणी जर का कुठला असेल तर ते आहे पुणे विद्यापीठ. सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे विद्यापीठाची सुरुवात 1949 साली झाली बाबासाहेब जयकर यांनी त्यासाठी मोठा पुढाकार घेतला आणि पुणे विद्यापीठाची स्थापना या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये झाली. पण ही स्थापना करायची कुठं? त्यासाठी बाबासाहेब जयकरांनी त्याचा मोठा मागोवा घेतला आणि पुण्यामध्ये असणारा गव्हर्नरचा जो बंगला आहे त्याच बंगल्याची निवड ही पुणे युनिव्हर्सिटी मेन बिल्डिंग म्हणून करण्यात आली. त्या ठिकाणी पुणे युनिव्हर्सिटीचं कामकाज याची सुरुवात झाली आणि या सगळ्या प्रयत्नांमधून पुणे हे खऱ्या अर्थाने ऑक्सफर्ड ऑफ द ईस्ट म्हणून संबोधलं जाऊ लागलं.
In the 19th century, from the printing press of Tirak came the idea of Swaraj. The Chafekar brothers lit up Pune with bullets that made the British tremble. Savarkar carried the fire of revolution. Rajguru gave his life besides Bhagat Singh. In Pune, another giant, Senapati Bapat, raised the tricolor. And freedom was just the beginning. In the decades that followed, Pune earned a new identity.